Hi, I'm Ilya Komakin, and this is Human-Powered Engineering. Today, I'd like to speak about retrospectives, specifically about skipping them. Have you ever had a team that flat out refused to do retrospectives? Maybe they don't, maybe they even participate, but just go through the motion and no one is engaged. Yeah, sure, I know. Some teams will claim that they don't need retrospectives. You know what? Some of them really don't. Those who leave the spirit of inspection and adaptation. They don't need a ritual. When they do run a retrospective, it's 15-minute stops, it's meeting and highlighting some points and saying thanks to each other, and that's it. But let's be honest, those teams are the exception. If most teams don't do retros, they aren't beyond the ritual, they just dodge in the mirror. So let's talk about those, the ones that resist, and how to help them. Common reasons for resistance. They may feel retrospectives are a waste of time. They just stuck and nothing changes. Maybe this retrospective become monotonous or shallow. Maybe the psychological safety is low. People don't feel safe to speak up. Maybe team is just overloaded and retrospective you know, sometimes it doesn't feel like an essential activity. Examples, we're just starting, don't need it yet, deliver first and then reflect sometime later. Or people attend, nobody speaks, and I've met teams who are just not sure how to start speaking on these meetings. Or maybe yes, they're doing fine, but let's skip these fine teams for now. Keeping retrospectives isn't always resistance. Sometimes it's just exhaustion, or quiet protest, or some other sort of signal. So don't label it, try to listen. So, what if it happens? Don't try to force your teams. Investigate and listen. If the team doesn't want to speak, that's okay, but we need to understand why. Trying to fix retrospectives on retrospectives might not be wise. If the format is broken, then start with one-on-ones instead. Use these one-on-ones to ask, what makes retrospectives unhelpful for you right now? Try to analyze, is it a single team or a broader pattern within the org? Look for deeper signals, like burnout, distrust, maybe ignored feedback. My experience shows that skipping retrospective is usually indication of a deeper issue, so treat it as data. Try the 5 whys to dig into root causes, and remember that you cannot fix safety in a group setting, so start by removing friction one person at a time. So, once you're done with the groundwork, what then? You still want retrospectives, but not the same ones your team is resisting. So, shifting the purpose from ritual to value. Sometimes it will only take one aggressive skeptic to bring the whole meeting down, but making others unsafe to speak. I worked with someone who repeatedly dismissed others' input, was kind of guy who is senior, cynical, so-it-all, and openly disdainful of these agile bells and whistles. So it took me several conversations with him one-on-one to let him make us try retrospective without being interrupted. Even then, the team remained tense, so I closed that first session just after identified one specific action. But over time, the same skeptic began to engage, this time constructively. He still found his moment to shine, but not at others' expense. Sometimes it's not about if you facilitate or if you have in this meeting, but how. How do you drive them? Involvement starts with sharing. So start with yourself, share some of your own insights, share your own fails. It it helps the team to start speaking. It helps them to start brainstorming, starting with your ideas and then transferring to their ideas. Run a brief retro. Try to limit it to 15 minutes, see what happens. Let the team set the agenda. Ask them what do they want to discuss. Ask it in advance. Helps sometimes. Experiment with creative formats. You can try timeline exercise, like dropping sticky notes on a timeline and discuss what happened, when happened, how it felt. Make a silent writing exercise. If people are hesitant to speak, let them write. Try one word check ins. Probably each person just shares one word about the sprint, good or bad or whatever. Most of all, ensure closure. Assign follow up actions and make sure they are followed and visible. And celebrate wins. They build momentum and trust. And what if the team still say no? We can offer async alternatives like Slack-Thread or shared doc, but these alternatives they still will need facilitation from Scrum Master perspective. We can meet one-on-one with skeptics and allies and ask what would make retros worth your time. Reflect with leadership. Is it a symptom or choice? And think what does it say about culture or delivery pressure maybe. And yes, sometimes a toxic dynamic or personal or political tension can block trust entirely. If that happens, name it. Don't decorate it. Work from truth. Name it, then try to fix it. So, retrospectives aren't ceremonies, they are tools. If your team doesn't want to use the tool, that's okay, but find out why before try to fix how. Retrospectives are just one way to apply the core principle of inspection. And resistance is a message. Make sure that you listen. Have you ever faced retro resistance? What did you do? Let's share experiences. Drop your story or question in the comments. And since we are on YouTube, your likes, subscribes, comments, and shares help immensely. Not just in terms of uptaking it on a platform, but in terms of sharing your insights with me. So please do that. See you in the next one.